look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
So I knew I was okay. He sold 11 million records. He had deals with Jay-Z and them, but Jay-Z ain't gonna never. Dude, I always tell him all the time, Jay-Z ain't treat you like this.
Oh, he definitely like playing this nigga.
Jay-Z might not even say hard as all.
So we just had a lit. Jay-Z ain't never take you to a party like this.
Don't complain, but he's got a good life, man.
Oh.
Jim Jones really messed with the wrong one because Uncle Murda ain't staying quiet on this. Jim tried to clown Tony Yayo after Yayo said that 50 Cent takes better care of his artists than Jay-Z. And now Murda, who actually worked under both Rockefeller and G-Unit, is stepping up to set the record straight on who's really the better boss. Murda made it clear. 50's been feeding his people for years, keeping his crew tight and loyal. Meanwhile, Jay-Z? Once you're not useful anymore, that Rock Nation brunch invite just disappears like it never existed. Wild, right? But here's why Uncle Murda said that, and why the internet's been going crazy about it. This all kicked off when Tony Yayo dropped a comment in an interview that honestly made sense if you've been paying attention to how both 50 and Jay move.
Yeah, Jay don't look
They'll look up a bleak like Fib look out for you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I just want to clear that up. Hov don't have to.
And then he said he eat his home halal.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. I'm chewing halal on my own.
He eats on his own. I eat on my own too.
Right.
I go on my own tour. I just came off tour.
Right.
When have you seen Bleak on tour? On his own. Jay-Z is not a bad guy. Bleak is not a bad guy. I'm not saying. I'm saying to you that Jay-Z was all business with them niggas. When Buck up on his taxes, 50 a piece or more. When Prodigy bought a house and needed more money, 50 a piece or more. Prodigy are paying back. The thing with 50 is, it was business and we was friends. I don't feel like Bleak was Jay-Z friend. I don't feel like Young Guns was Jay-Z friend. It came to a point where 50...
Yayo said straight up that Jay doesn't really take care of his people like that. He pointed out how 50 Cent looks out for him way more than Jay ever did for Memphis Bleak. And honestly, Yayo wasn't even trying to diss Jay. He was just keeping it real. Nobody matches 50 when it comes to loyalty and taking care of his day ones. He puts his people on tours, gives them TV cameos, keeps them in the mix with business moves, flies them out for vacations, and all he ever asks for in return is loyalty. That's real.
The nigga keep showing up next to the down. That's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just everywhere I got an issue. He show up around me. So I mean, you don't get music, right? Because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around nigga, fuck when he come around, how your antennas go up. So he in a position where he might feel like he did, but he ain't dead.
But then Jim Jones had to jump in, and that's when everything started getting messy. While talking with Bleak, Jim started clowning Yayo, calling him broke and saying he still depends on 50 to take care of him. That's when things started heating up. That's when Uncle Murda jumped in and shut Jim down fast. He told him straight, Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers. That line hit deep because it wasn't just shade, it was truth. Murda was saying, Jay keeps people around when there's a profit involved, but 50, he keeps folks close because they've been solid since day one. In a recent interview with Murda and Yayo, both of them made it clear. Jay never showed Murda the same love and support that 50 did.
A lot of, me from the hood, so people look at Bleak and don't understand the business he's doing. They always look at Jay like, oh,
Yeah,
But
that's
nah,
right.
Bleak
That's
out
why you
here
got like Yayo talking about, Jay don't take care of it. I don't need Jay to go on tour.
You don't smoke hard coke, yo.
Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of, nigga. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need
You
that
might
help.
need
That's
2
why-
ounces.
That's why
Paid
you
in full
looking
move. I got a G for every bump in your face. I promise you that.
That's
I promise you that.
Why you worrying about
Peon.
Yayo explained that 50 remembers who was there when he had nothing and never switched sides. That loyalty means everything. But here's where it gets wild. The internet's completely split over this. Some people are backing Jim, saying Yayo's living off 50, while others are defending Jay, saying just because he doesn't post everything online like 50 does, doesn't mean he's not taking care of his people. Still, it seems like way more people are mad that Jim Jones even jumped in to clown Yayo when the whole thing had nothing to do with him. One person online said, Jim Jones running his mouth like he ran when somebody put their hands on him. Another user added, we all know Jimmy's just doing the most to stay relevant. This man said he's better than Nicki. Nuff said. The comments were ruthless. But let's circle back to what Uncle Murda really meant when he said, Jay's got business partners and 50's got brothers. That wasn't just a slick punchline. It came straight from experience. Murda's time with Rockefeller was short-lived, barely a year, before he dipped out to sign with 50. And since then, he's seen firsthand how 50 moves. Behind the scenes, 50 keeps his people close, looks out for them financially, and never forgets who stayed real when things got rough. That's the kind of loyalty money can't buy.
Instagram comments, because these people are made to break you. They want to break artists. They want to break you. Nobody believe you. I was in 50 crib, no roaches and all that, me in a little spot, small spot. Nobody believed in that. He playing Get Rich or Die Trying already in the crib. He had half that done. Like, all right. Once this go off, looking like everybody get confused because they don't think that your dream is gonna.
Same goes for Yayo. He's been rocking with 50 since those early G-Unit mixtape days. Decades later, 50's still making sure Yayo gets booked on massive international tours, putting real money in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. But you gotta, you know what I mean? That's why I respect him, because we had more of an assist. We had 50 Cent. So I knew I was okay. He sold 11 million records. Even motherfucker, he had deals with Jay-Z and them, but Jay-Z ain't gonna never. Dude, I always tell him all the time, Jay-Z ain't treat you like this.
Oh, he definitely like playing, you know, this.
Jay-Z might not even say hard as all.
So we just had the party.
But according to Yayo, it's not just about the private jets and five-star hotels. 50 teaches his team how to handle their money wisely so they can build something for themselves.
We was just at in Miami with the Kardashians, Serena Williams, and everybody. We just finished performing. Great time, right? First thing my man here want to say, yeah, lit. Jay-Z will never take you to a party like this.
You might get invited.
Nah, I don't get invited.
I respect Jay-Z and all these guys.
That's why Uncle Murda said he was finally able to buy his first house after signing with 50. That's huge. Once Murda linked with G-Unit, 50 didn't just throw him a few features and call it a day. He kept him active in music, business, and even gave him public support when most artists get forgotten. That's the real difference. 50 doesn't treat his people like temporary coworkers. He moves like a man who values those who came up with him through the grind. Meanwhile, Jay's circle has always looked more like a corporate structure. Jay moves like a CEO. If there's no mutual benefit, you're out of the picture. Just look at the history. Dame Dash, Kanye, Beanie Siegel, they all started as family, but ended up on the outside. That says a lot. Jay cut them all off and never looked back, like they never even existed. Same story with Jazzo, the man who actually put Jay on the map.
Biff, he always was just like tight with his money. Eminem, tight with his money, so you learn to kind of save instead of spending. 50 encouraged us, yo, you get money, go get a house. That's like Uncle Murda, he's down with us now. He was signed to Jay-Z, he got his first house being down with us.
Right.
He gave me my first Jacob watch and 50 said, yo, don't forget, blow your head off for it. See, 50 was ahead of his time. That's what people didn't understand.
Back in the day, Jazz was mentoring him, showing him the ropes before the world even knew who Jay-Z was. But the moment Jay blew up, everything changed. He started moving different, climbing that corporate ladder, and left Jazz behind like he never mattered. That switch-up shocked a lot of people. And then there's DeHaven, one of Jay's oldest friends from the Marcy projects. This man helped Jay in the streets, supported him before the fame, before the big money, before the Rock Nation suits. But once Jay turned corporate, it was like DeHaven disappeared. He's even gone public, saying Jay lied about him, called him a snitch, and then turned his back completely. That kind of betrayal cut deep.
Your relationship like with Jay-Z? Who were you to him?
Well, basically, I was his right-hand man. You know what I mean? Beyond that, we was brothers. For him not to even give me time, even to act like he didn't know me, you know what I'm saying? For all that I sacrificed, all that my people sacrificed, all that my family sacrificed. I never knew that it'd get to this. Even label me with some statements or some snitching statements. I think that's about the utmost disrespect.
It is.
People still ask, what was your relationship like with Jay-Z? Because every story from those close to him ends the same. Once Jay gets what he needs, he's on to the next move. It's cold out here in that business world. What's wild is that Jay's track record with his old crew keeps coming back to haunt him. Every few years, someone from his past speaks up. Someone who helped him rise but got left behind once the deals started rolling in. People like Beanie Siegel, who once called Jay a brother, but later said he never got the love or support he deserved. Siegel gave his loyalty to Rockefeller, helped build that early empire, and when everything went sideways, Jay kept his distance. No calls, no help, no check-ins, just silence. That's not how real ones move. Then you've got Dame Dash, who practically built Rockefeller Records shoulder to shoulder with Jay. They were unstoppable together, running New York with an iron grip. But the moment money and power got involved, things got sour fast. Jay wanted control. He wanted to be the boss. And once he got it, Dame was out the picture. Now Dame's out here doing interviews, still talking about how Jay switched up for fame and turned his back on everything they stood for. That's not loyalty. That's business at its coldest. Meanwhile, you look at 50 Cent and how he handles his people. It's night and day. He's still got Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and even Young Buck's name in his mouth. Whether it's jokes or business, he keeps his brand tight and his crew close. When 50 eats, everyone eats. And that's what separates him from the rest. He's not just talking about loyalty, he lives it. That's why people respect 50 even when they don't like him, because they know he keeps it real. And Uncle Murda, he's proof of that. When nobody else was giving him a real shot, 50 brought him in, gave him platforms, paid him, and showed him how to turn that street hustle into legitimate money. He didn't just sign Murda, he invested in him. That's something Jay never really did for his people once he made it big. Jay built empires, but 50 built families. So now, when Uncle Murda speaks up and calls out how Jay treats people compared to 50, folks listen. Because it's not just talk, it's facts from someone who's seen both sides. Loyalty can't be bought, and fame fades fast. But how you treat your people, that's what defines your legacy. And right now, Jay's legacy in that department looks a little shaky. When Murda said, Jay got business partners, 50's got brothers, he wasn't just throwing shade, he was speaking from experience. He was talking about everything he's seen, everything he's lived through. Jay moves like a CEO, always thinking about the next deal, the next opportunity. And that means cutting off people the second they stop serving the brand. It's cold, but that's how he plays the game. That's why you never hear folks call Jay loyal. Instead, they say he's sharp, business savvy, strategic. Yeah, all the smart words. But loyal? That one rarely gets mentioned. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's loyalty goes way back to his come-up. The same people who stood beside him when he had nothing are still in his corner today. The only ones missing are the ones who switched sides or crossed him. Simple as that. At the end of the day, 50 moves with loyalty first, while Jay moves with strategy first. And look, neither one is necessarily wrong, but you can feel the difference. One feels real, grounded, built on brotherhood. The other feels like a business move. And if you made it this far, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on? Team loyalty or team strategy?